Good day, students! Welcome back to school. But for now, we're going to do our online class. If the situation gets better, then we're going to see each other very soon. Stay safe, everyone, and I hope you watch the entire video from the start to the end. Good day, everyone! Before we continue with our online discussion, I would like to introduce to you myself first. I am Miss Michelle Joy. You can call me Miss MJ for short. Our subject is English as a Second Language, or ESL for short. So what is ESL? ESL is teaching English to people who are not native speakers like you guys, because your first language is Thai. So I will be helping you to develop your speaking, writing, reading, and understanding skills of the English language using different movies, different songs, reading comprehensions, and many other topics. So I hope that you will learn how to love this language as much as I do. Let's proceed to our online discussion now. So class, our subject is of course ESL, and the first topic that we will be discussing for term 1 is about documentary. And the documentary we are going to talk about is The Youngest Mother in the World. So before that, please let us read the words to learn that we will be encountering in the next slide. You can follow after me so that you can still practice your reading skills even if you are just at home. After reading, I'm just going to give you a brief explanation, a short explanation about this word, so you will have a better understanding about our topic. Let's start reading now. A. Healthy. B. Young girl. C. Worried. D. Village. E. Belly. F. Tumor. G. Shock. H. Dismay. I. Pregnant. And J. Defect. So healthy means you are well, you are not sick. Young girl means girls between the age of 3 to 11 years old. Worried means you have the feeling of distress. Village means an area where people live. Usually, it is a small area. Belly means stomach or tummy. Tumor is a kind of illness. Shock means you are surprised. Dismay means disappointed or disappointment. Pregnant, only women can get pregnant, means you are carrying a baby in your womb. And letter J, defect, means something isn't right. So class, let us read about the youngest mother in the world. So the youngest mother in the world is Lina Marcela Medina de Jurado. In Spanish pronunciation, Lina Medina. She was born on 23 September 1933 in the country of Peru. She is a Peruvian woman who became the youngest confirmed mother in medical history, giving birth at the age of 5 years, 7 months, and 21 days. So let us take a look at the picture of Lina Medina, who was the youngest mother in the world, and this is her son, Gerardo. So world's youngest mother, Lina Medina. She was just 5 years and 7 months old when she gave birth to baby boy by cesarean section. Her parents actually thought she had a tumor, but when she was taken to hospital, she was found to be 7 months pregnant. And later on, guys, you will know why the name of her son was Gerardo. So Lina Marcela Medina de Jurado, the youngest mother in the world. She was born on 23 September 1933, age 5 years, 7 months, and 21 days old, when her child was born by cesarean section in May 1939. Medina made medical history and is still the youngest known mother in the world. Her parents thought their 5-year-old daughter had a huge abdominal tumor. Her father carried her to hospital. This is the only published photograph of Lina taken during her pregnancy. So let us take a look at the first picture. So this is Lina and this is her son Gerardo. And again, Lina and her son Gerardo. So at the picture here at the right side, this is Lina when she was pregnant. She gave birth when she was 7 months pregnant by a cesarean section. So class, in 1972, she had a second son, 33 years after her first. Lina is alive until today, but she refuses interviews. Okay, so this is the old Lina now. And this was Lina when she was young. This is her son Gerardo when he was 5 years old. This is again a picture of Lina with her son Gerardo. And this is Lina and her son Gerardo. Okay, let's continue reading. So Medina has never revealed the father of the child, nor the circumstances of her impregnation. Although Lina's father was arrested on suspicion of child sexual abuse, he was later released due to lack of evidence, and the biological father was never identified. She is believed to be the youngest case of precocious puberty in history.
In 1939, this 5-year-old became the youngest mother ever, and even now, she won't reveal the truth. Sometimes the most extraordinary events occur in the humblest of circumstances. Born in 1933, Lina Medina was brought up in the Peruvian village of Tecrapo. The town, perched at an altitude of more than 7,000 feet above sea level, was one of Peru's poorest neighborhoods. Little is known of Lina's very early years, but it's easy to imagine that life in such a rural and impoverished area would have been basic. Apparently, she had 8 siblings, and they were all raised by their mother, Victoria Lucia, and father, Tubarella Medina, who was a silversmith. Day-to-day life for the South American family would have probably been pretty uneventful. However, when Lina was 5, something happened that would change her life and her family's forever. Not only that, but it would shock the entire world. Concern for Lina started when the little girl began developing a bloated abdomen. Moreover, the swelling didn't go down. On the contrary, it seemed to get bigger and bigger. Naturally very worried, Lina's mother and father suspected that their daughter could be suffering from a tumor. But before heading to the hospital, they sought help from a curious source. The family reportedly asked local shamans to see if they could cure Lina of her problem. And the shamans apparently believed that her strange growth could be down to her being possessed. So Lina's father, Tibarello, granted permission for them to exorcise his daughter in a bid to remove the snake under her belly. Whether or not this exorcism actually took place is unknown. If it did, it clearly didn't work, but what happened next is known to have occurred. With Lina's ever-growing bumps still present, it was time to see some professionals. According to a 1939 article in Time magazine, one of the shamans was with the Medina family when they finally took the girl to hospital in Pisco, Peru. And apparently the female shaman begged a Dr. Geraldo Losada, one of the hospital surgeons, to exorcise the possessed girl himself. Clearly, though, a medical professional like Dr. Losada was not going to do such a thing. Instead, he did what any regular doctor would do and gave the girl an examination. Yet, what he discovered would surely come as a complete shock. Why? Because Lina was, in fact, in the final stages of pregnancy. Indeed, she appeared to be around 7 months gone. So Dr. Lozada moved her to specialists in a Lima hospital to confirm the diagnosis. Here, the news was corroborated. Lena, a 5-year-old girl, was pregnant. But how was that even possible? It sounds unbelievable to us today that a child of such a young age could get pregnant and carry a baby. By way of explanation, as it later turned out, Lena was found to be living with a condition called precocious puberty. Basically, this meant that she'd started puberty at a very young age. While most girls begin their sexual development at around 10 years old, Lena's condition meant that around the age of 3, she was already menstruating. Of course, this meant her body was now producing ovums and was technically prepared for pregnancy. And there was more. By the age of 4, Lena had also developed a fully formed chest. Plus, it was later confirmed that her bones were mature and that her pelvis was somewhat wider than normal for a girl of her age. The latter circumstance was actually discovered while Lena was in the process of giving birth. That said, because her pelvis was still small, relatively speaking, a cesarean was needed during labor. Despite this development, however, on May 14, 1939, little Lena managed to give birth to a healthy baby boy. Weighing in at 6 pounds, the infant was given the name Gerardo in honor of the doctor who had diagnosed the pregnancy. And with the girl aged just 5 years, 7 months, and 21 days, this made Lena the youngest known human ever to have given birth. Notwithstanding this fact, just as the Medina family were coming to terms with the idea, another twist followed. Obviously, Lena must have had non-consensual sexual intercourse to become pregnant, but who had raped her? Well, fingers were pointed at the girl's father, Tibarello, and he was imprisoned, suspected of incest. Evidence was lacking, however, and Tibarello was later released. But what happened to the family after that? As it turned out, baby Gerardo was to spend most of his childhood believing that Luna was actually his sister. It wasn't until he hit 10 that he learned the truth. As for Lena herself, her relationship with Dr. Lozada grew stronger, and she ended up working for him in Lima as his secretary. Furthermore, he reportedly gave Lena an education and financed young Gerardo's schooling too. Years later, however, there was an unhappy development in Gerardo and Lena's story. Sadly, in 1979, at the age of 40, Gerardo passed away following an illness. Whether his mother ever revealed to her son who the father actually was, we'll never know. One thing's for sure, though, Lena has never publicly said who got her pregnant or what exactly happened. Indeed, it's possible that Lena doesn't even know or can't remember what occurred, and while some always suspected Lena's father of having raped her, despite his later release from prison, others have proposed that she could have been violated after a traditional Andean party. Today, Lena, age 83, lives in a rundown part of Lima with her husband, Raul Gerardo. She had a second son with Gerardo, yet while her second son's older brother, Gerardo, may have died, the interest in his story lives on. Nevertheless, Lena refuses to discuss her story, despite having received multiple press requests, and we're fairly sure that the truth behind her being the world's youngest mother is something she'll take to the grave.
So class, we now come to the last part of our discussion, which is the activity. This is to test whether you understood our topic or not, and to let me know if you have watched the whole video or you skipped some part of it. Please do not write your answers on the comment section because others might just copy your answer and it's not fair. You can send me your answers in our Google Classroom account privately so I can check them and give you back with the scores. So here are the questions. Number 1, who is the youngest mother in the world? Number 2, when was she born? Number 3, what country was she from? Number 4, how old was she when she became a mother? And number 5, who was the father of her child? Good luck, everyone! So class, we now come to the end of our discussion for week 1. And please stay safe, stay at home, and stay online. I'll see you again next week. Bye, everyone. Thank you very much.